Three men and a multiverse of sci-fi's finest spacecraft, but which ones can claim to be the greatest ships ever? Welcome to Space Doc Jury.
Hello and welcome to Space Doc Jury episode 32, I think.
Yes,
I like a little
we have
inflection
got
at the end there.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, best to just come up.
It's episode 32 unless it's not.
Yes, in which case it's not. If it's not, then well, never mind. Anyway, I'm Lee, and I'm bringing the Life Force vampire ship.
I'm Peter, and I'm bringing the USS Pasteur. Ooh, goody.
And I'm Andy, and I'm bringing the GTVA. Oh, what the fuck were they thinking, Colossus?
Yes, so there you go. And as you can probably tell, this is one of our traditional Under the Bus episodes.
It's an old tradition. We've had, including this one too.
Yes, Under the Bus.
But a tradition nonetheless.
Well, anything that we've done more than once has got to be worth calling a tradition at this point, surely.
And wasn't the previous episode the legendary ships? So it seems appropriate to do the pants ones this time.
Exactly. So we're going under the bus, do, under the bus, there's on the bus. I was going to say, we could put the theme to on the buses.
Yeah,
Well, that would be apt for when we do the bottom 10.
Yeah, exactly. Oh no, that's please sir, isn't it? Sorry, never mind.
Misses.
Yeah,
Euphemism.
Anyway, so yes, as we can tell, I'm suffering from a cold, so I apologise for my weird voice.
it's sexy.
Nice. Welcome to Space Dog Jury After Dark. Brown chicken, brown cow. Anyway, yes. So as it is an Under the Bus episode, we are going to do, instead of doing the top 10, we're going to do the bottom 10.
The arse end of the scale.
Yes, and so at the top of the bottom end, with 30 points, number 10, we have the Mars Attack Saucer. At number 9, also with 30 points, we have the Gunstar from, was it Last Starfighter? Yes.
Yes. Wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't. At number 8, we have the Dalek Saucer from the 1966 Doctor Who movie, with 28 points.
There's some nice symmetry, but we've got a Dalek saucer at each end.
Yes, exactly. Bookending it.
Wait, that sounded wrong, didn't it?
You did.
Yeah.
Euphemism.
Wrong podcast. At number 6, we have the Speedo Ghost.
Hang on. You left out number 7.
What? Oh, 7. Sorry, number 7.
Well, 7 was incarcerated.
Okay. At number 7, we have the Speedo Ghost. Sorry, the Speedo Ghost from Ace Trucking from 2000 AD, also with 28 points. Then, also with 28 points, we have the Ark from Transformers, the cartoon. Then moving on up into the top 5, we have Nell from Battle Beyond the Stars with 26 at position number 5.
Space boobies!
At number 4, we have the Red Police Cruiser from Lilo and Stitch with 25 points. And then, sitting in the top 3, at number 3, we have the Independence Day Mothership with 23 points.
Can I just clarify? I don't think it's so much as sitting as squatting.
Yes. Then at number 2, we have Thunder Road, the dustbin with a seat and 3 kids in it, with 19 points. And lounging right at the bottom, at number 1 in the shit pile, we have the USM Auriga from Alien Resurrection, isn't it?
Alien, one of the shit ones.
Yeah, Alien. It's Firefly, honest. So Joss Whedon made it. It cannot be wrong. With 16 points. But maybe that'll all change tonight.
We'll certainly try.
Yeah, with 3 more ever so totally dodgy ships. So, I don't know. If we're flipping the whole thing on its head, is the person who lost going to go last or first from last week?
The first shall come last, and the last shall come first. Ooh.
Ooh.
That does anticipate a certain person having prepared, which is entirely possible hasn't happened in this instance, and it might be desperately trying, hypothetically speaking, might be desperately trying to find information, but the website with all the information seems to be suffering from...
Somebody is under the bus doing his homework.
Might be suffering from some sort of net error where it won't actually load the Wikipedia page he needs, so maybe not.
Okay, well then in which case, the person who lost last week with the ship from the Forbidden Planet, the C-57D, was me. And so...
Wait, sorry. Late breaking news, just in. I found a cached version, which did load. So it's up to you.
Well, I've already announced it. Sod it.
You've started, so you'll finish.
Started, so I'll finish. So let me get this absolute toss pile out the way. The derelict...
Okay, Magnus.
The derelict from Life Force, the movie Life Force, which if you haven't heard the Black Dog episode on this particular gem, do swing on over to the Black Dog, blackdogpodcast.com or iTunes and check it out, because it's quite a film. It's quite a film. I think
it's not so much a film as an experience.
It is.
It certainly is.
It's like a really, really bad trip to the toilet.
Yes, exactly. So
but you'll remember it for some time afterwards.
Yeah, and so will most of your family.
And not in that satisfying way.
No. This is a stench lingering sort of way.
Yeah. So
it is the £5 bag of sugar-free Haribo gummy bears.
Yeah. It's the what did I eat experience.
Yeah.
We might be labouring this point at this point.
Yeah, I think the point is there.
There's just really not enough toilet roll. That's where we're at.
Yeah, you are literally singing "Burning Ring of Fire" with Johnny Cash.
Moon River.
Yeah. Oh dear. Anyway, yes. Oh, never mind. Don't worry. I was going to do a joke. It doesn't matter. So yeah, go over to the Black Dog. Go over to blackdogpodcast.com and check out episode 311. And marvel at the joys that is Life Force. I'm supposed to be doing the ship. Yes. Okay. Right. Fine. The Derelict, as it's properly known.
We've heard of that before.
Yeah, I know. Well, Life Force, surprisingly, is written by a certain Dan O'Bannon, who wrote another film a few years before about an alien spacecraft that was a derelict that got sort of checked over by a bunch of spacemen to hideous results of a psychosexual nature.
He's not related to that twat security advisor, is he?
No, not quite. But you never know.
Just making sure.
Just making sure. Not Steve O'Bannon, no. But anyway, so Life Force.
Every time you say Life Force,
I don't know.
It just takes me to a Generations place.
Oh, gosh.
Bloody data go, Life Force.
Well, we know the music's going to be playing over your intro, then.
Yeah, there you go. That's that done. Yeah, I was going to say, well, what are you going to do for the USS Pasteur? Is it going to be like...
I've got something for that.
Okay, fair enough. Anyway... So the Derelict is a spacecraft that was utilised by the energy vampires in the 1985 film Life Force.
Can we just take a moment again to energy vampires?
They're called that because they suck the energy out of the viewer.
Yeah, whereas the film was a fucking time vampire. I know that for a fact. But anyway, the Derelict was located within the tail of Halley's Comet and discovered by the HMS Churchill, which was oh yes,
oh yes.
And it's rather interesting that they've tried desperately to stick it on the Alien Wiki as well. So in some way,
so it's in the same universe as Alien vs Predator.
Apparently,
that seems apt.
Yes, does actually. And the HMS Churchill discovered it while exploring the comet, because that's what you can do. No, you can't. Anyway, Colonel Tom Carson and a group of other members of the British and American expedition team entered the ship and found 3 bodies. Taking them back to the ship, back from the ship aboard the Churchill. It would be that later on that the ship, the Life Force derelict ship, would be in orbit around the Earth after the alien invasion begins, with the vampires not being quite as dead as they would appear. And
Not dead yet.
I'm not dead yet. I'm feeling better. Anyway.
I'll go for a walk.
Yeah, exactly. The ship itself was designed and built visual effects wise by John Dykstra, who did other things like Star Wars and Battlestar Galactica, the original. But yeah, I think this was kind of an ignominious...
An off day, definitely.
Yeah, definitely an off day, yes. And it was, you're going to love this, its design, you're going to love this, here we go, was basically based off of an artichoke.
Flower power. Eggs.
Yeah, there you go. So it was an umbrella-like alien spacecraft was modelled after an artichoke. And yes, the model was a physical model that was about 6 feet long. And it was represented as paintings and matte paintings and stills and that kind of thing. In universe, the derelict is a bioengineered vessel, approximately 150 miles long. Its appearance, it looks rather slender for a ship that size and possesses no living quarters except for 3 crystalline coffins. And it doesn't appear to have any life support systems of any kind. It's unknown what the vessel used as fuel or what type of engine it was. However, it was able to go between Halley's Comet and the Moon and then follow on from the Moon to the Earth in a matter of minutes. It is conceivable, however, and was theorised that it runs off the life force energy of the beings that the vampires have collected. The ship does possess a large room containing bodies of deceased vampires that have since dissolved into dust. Another room contains 3 crystallised force field cases, housing 2 males and 1 female in suspended animation.
In the nip!
In the nip! In the nude! In
Moody
nutty!
ladies. Moody ladies.
Naughty ladies!
Yes,
Moody
definitely.
ladies.
I mean, the men are nude, but you don't get to see anything.
Yeah. The men had an amazing knack of being able to stand exactly where a reflection was at all times.
They call it the knack-a-knack.
Yeah, the knacker glint. Yes.
Knack. Oh wait, no, that's Mars Attacks.
However, the female vampire was not so careful, and so basically had her vampire wings on display every which way she went. I was going to say bat wings, actually. But there you go. Make your own gags up. Anyway, so shall we rate this bugger?
So we draw a curtain over that. Oh, no, wait.
No. B4. No. Stop. Back up.
Evacuate.
Please stand clear.
Yeah.
Chloe reversing.
Vehicle is reversing. Right, okay, so moving swiftly on, the size of the ship was 150 miles, which, according to my calculations, is 241 kilometres, which puts
big.
that right up in the 15s.
Yeah, that's a bad start if you're trying to throw it under the bus.
That
Yeah, I was gonna
is
say, yeah.
a terrible start.
It's
So
Spaceball 1 all over again.
I think so. Its speed, it can, like I say, it managed to travel between Halley's Comet, which was somewhere, I think it was somewhere like a month out by flight, by traditional flight. It was 6 months out.
You mean in terms of Halley's Comet's trajectory?
No, in terms of the Churchill. Oh yes. The Churchill was in space for six months to get to it. So that's 6 months normal distance. Well,
So the question we have to ask is: do we know how fast the Churchill can go?
No, but it looks like it looks like a standard shuttle with just a big engine on the bottom.
Okay.
So it's got relativistic speeds. It's not going light speed or anything like that.
Well, no. I mean, if anything, Halley's Comet only has an orbital trajectory of 75 years.
Exactly.
Because it only goes around our sun. So
Exactly. So, but we still took 6 months to fly out past the moon. So how far did they get? I suppose it's just out past Mars, really. If you're going to be,
well, if it's taking you 6 months to get to Mars, that's slower than we can do it now.
Okay, so it's halfway to Jupiter then. The asteroid belt. I don't know. What do you want to say?
I mean,
roughly speaking. I mean, we're guessing here.
So the Martian, which is probably relatively close to what we can actually do with Orion when that comes on stream, I think was 4 months to and from Mars.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, and that's a considerably quick ship. Now that's fast from what we can really do. Discovery 1 was what, 2 years?
2 years to Jupiter. That's right.
So what do we give Discovery 1 and the Hermes? Those are your benchmarks.
Well, no, but I was going. All I'm trying to do is trying to work out, because from Halley's Comet, the life force ship gets, the derelict basically upsticks and fucks off back to Earth and gets there in a matter of hours.
Mm-hmm. Discovery 1 got a 1.
But I was going to say it depends on, because Halley's Comet doesn't stay in one place.
No, so it's getting further away all the time.
It could be quite close to Earth. Do we know what year it took place in, actually? That will tell you exactly where.
1985.
Oh, and actually Halley's Comet was pretty close then, because it was 86, I think, Halley's Comet did its last flyby.
That's right.
So, yeah, that's pretty close.
Yeah, well, the Life Force vampire ship basically makes it in like minutes. So that's kind of the key. Do we give it a sublight speed of, like, I don't know, 2 or 3? Because it's definitely not a 1. But
2 would probably be the most I'm going. And that's basically coming down to, again, because we don't know where Halley's Comet was in order. And this seems to imply it was when it was closest to Earth.
You see a shot of it going past the moon to get to Earth.
I can't help feeling this is all assuming a level of scientific accuracy they really weren't aiming for in the film.
Well, that is very true. I mean,
he raises an interesting point.
Yeah,
look, it's a 1 or a 2. If you're going to fight for the 2, have the 2.
I wasn't going to fight for the 2. I was just trying to get some kind of benchmark because we had nothing. Okay,
no frame of reference, Danny.
No frame of reference. FTL, none, as far as I can tell. So that's a 0. Maneuverability, 1, because it basically turns around and flies back.
It's a sad state of affairs when the fact that the ship can turn around is our
baseline.
Turn around.
Yeah. Firepower.
That's manoeuvring.
Yeah, that's manoeuvring, isn't it? Firepower. Now, this is an odd one because, in theory, it fires a beam down to the vampire on the floor, who basically absorbs all the life force of everyone around it. So, in theory, it's basically sucking the life out of an entire sort of city with a pulse. But again, I've got no real frame of reference other than what's on screen.
And let's face it, that's just madness.
That's just
I was going to say. So its super weapon is it casts like a warmish light, which if you're a vampire might do something to you.
Well, it kind of fires down a blue beam straight down into the face of Matilda May, and all the life force that's coming off the corpses or whatever that is that have been infected all just gets sucked up, hoovered up, and blasted back to the ship. And the ship kind of opens up like a big umbrella. I mean,
funny enough, we don't really feature that on our scale.
Yeah,
strange that.
I'm not
it's
quite
not
sure
come up before.
Okay, I suppose the closest we'd have is it's a beam weapon that sucks the life out of things. I mean, it's like a neutron bomb, I guess.
But okay, when you say it sucks the life, it sucks the life out of things which are already dead, though, doesn't it?
Which have already been infected, pre-infected by the soldiers.
So the beam on its own is rather ineffective.
Okay, so that's a 0 then. There you go.
Yeah, I'd say that's a 0.
Well, what we're saying is it's got some method of sucking up what's already been killed.
Yeah.
What we're saying is it's got some method of sucking.
Yeah, well, we knew that already.
Yeah. But, yeah, okay, fair enough. Defense.
It's a tractor beam, isn't
yes,
it? That's what we're talking about.
It is. It's a soul tractor beam.
It's a soul tractor beam.
Oh, mama. Yeah, I'm a soul tractor. Yeah.
It's a Norwich soul band.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the Wurzels.
yes.
The Wurzels. Anyway, defense active 0. Passive, we got no idea. The ship itself appears to be thick enough to have armor. But
doesn't Halley's Comet pick off loads of rocks and stone and
yes, exactly.
It's mostly dust. It's mostly dust and water vapor
smashing at you at 1,000 miles an hour. But
it's the Rosetta Stone, the Rosetta probe, collected up with the Rosetta Comet, and that was just a washing machine, effectively.
yeah, that was true. A washing machine with a soul
heavily armored washing machine. But...
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, let's face it; those things are going to hurt if you drop them on your foot. But...
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we've got to give it a 1 because we just don't know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, special.
Oh, it's very special.
Yeah, I was say nothing as far as comes to mind apart from the sucky straw laser beam of suckiness.
But have 1 for that.
Well, it's not.
I was going to say, I think space vampires will qualify you for 1.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, fine. 1 for that then. Crew size 3, basically.
Hey!
3 people, so that's a 1. And competence.
Competence in this film really do not go together.
No, that's not definitely an oxymoron there. I mean, she does effectively. She wakes up. The other 2 wake up. They basically lay waste to everything around them. Then she falls for some astronaut, gets stabbed through the heart with a lead pipe, and then flies off into space.
It's the old story. How many times have we seen it?
Tale as old as time.
Man finds girl. Girl turns into vampire. Man
space vampire.
Yeah,
space vampire.
Girl kills entire city. Man shags girl, kills girl while shagging girl, flies back into space.
Oh, we've all been there.
Yeah,
what a cliche.
Who hasn't been there before? Okay, so competence. What are we going to give them? I mean, because what they do right, but I don't know. I mean, I think they're a bunch of fucking idiots myself.
Well, there we go. Let's go with that. Let's carry on with that thought.
1. Competence of 1.
There you go.
Interior, fucking awful. It's like someone who's never seen Alien got told to draw a spaceship from Alien.
We're talking the
polystyrene bricks with some
but we're not
pipes
talking
on
the Nostromo spaceship. We're talking the derelict spaceship.
Yes, because it's all like you get the Giger, sort of organic and psychosexual shapes and all that kind of stuff. Well, in the best they can come up with in Life Force is something that looks like a ring piece. And yeah, they got a bit of.
That doesn't sum it up. I don't think.
It does. It's basically intergalactic goatsy spaceship.
Thought that was Unicron.
Yeah. Oh god, that's yeah. So everything.
Could you take a moment to thank fuck that Unicron is not eligible for this fucking cast?
Oh, for God's sakes, yes. But everything is puckered bumholes. That's essentially it.
Oh, my favourite Disney song.
Yeah, that was in Moana, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What can I say except puckered bumholes?
Everything's coming up bucket bumholes.
I wanna be, I wanna see, I wanna fly away to puckered bumholes. Anyway, I wanna be part of this. But anyway,
I would just like to apologise to all the listeners out there on behalf of Space.Jury. These two do not speak for us.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've had so little sleep and so many medicines. It's not even funny. Right. Okay.
It's pretty funny.
Okay, fair enough. Exterior. Exterior. It looks like a big veiny shaft with a fucking umbrella on the end,
with some sort of helmet on the end, perhaps.
Yeah, and a terrible bog brush at the other end. It's got this kind of twisty-turny root system at the bottom.
On the upside, I've got the tune to Shaft going round my head now, so that's a good thing.
Shut your mouth. So exterior, I mean, it's kind of an average-looking model, and it's not really well done, and some of the painting and everything looks terrible. So I'm going to ask for a 2.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Interior,
Far be it from us to say no.
yeah. Interior, as I said before, puckered bum holes everywhere. Puckered
Bum holes, puckered bum holes, as far as the eye can see.
Exactly, and maybe some crystals from one of those hippie shops that you kind of find in Camden. So yeah, so crystals and puckered bum holes, which is a great title. I think.
These are a few of my favourite things.
We're getting titles literally coming out the wazoo.
So I'm going to ask for an interior of 2, purely for the irony of saying it's a number 2 coming out of a puckered bum hole.
Well, far be it from us to stop such a lovely.
It's no strain.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, nuts, all hazelnuts. Ooh. Science. It's.
Well, I've already scored this, of course.
You have already scored this a minus 100 for science, and I'm inclined to let it stand. But Andy.
I obviously applaud and appreciate the spirit of it, and I'm happy to let it stand for now. But if you do that, you may as well just mark it as grey right now, because at some point we're going to have to go back and fix it. Or not fix it, just align it better. Because let's face it, we're going to find something worse sooner or later.
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Challenge extended.
Yes. The gauntlet has been thrown down. I tell you what, for the moment, I will put it to 0.
Yeah,
purely
I think that's
to say
slightly more realistic.
Yeah. And cool factor, I'm going to give it a fuck you out of 10.
You have to give it 1, mate.
Do I?
Yeah.
I was going to actually speak to you, gentlemen, about this.
Oh.
We've had a long-standing policy of
revision.
Whoever brings the ship has to give it 1. But I think in instances such as this, and generally, it seems a bit wrong when we all know they're fucked.
Yes.
So I put it to the gentlemen of the jury for a revision where that rule is rescinded.
On Throw It Under the Bus episodes?
I'd say any episode.
Ooh.
Okay.
I think if... Put it this way, we have to assume in normal circumstances, when we bring a ship, we're going to give it points. The only time we're going to give it 0 is when we've been lumbered with it.
Nice.
Which are typically the Throw It Under the Bus episodes. So yes. I propose the rule change. Do I have a second?
You do.
I believe the motion carries.
Motion carries, that's right. Well, there you go. So, thank Christ for that. Yeah, I'm giving it a 0. So what are you going to give it, Andy?
0.
Lovely. And Pete?
And I'm giving it a nice round puckered 0.
I see buttholes everywhere. Brilliant. Okay, well, there you go. So that gives the Lifeful spaceship, after a initially strong start...
Yes, all the scoring came very early on.
Yeah, 26 points.
Hey!
Which
is
puts...
it in the bottom?
It is.
It's in the bottom. Hooray!
It's in the bottom. It's at
slightly coming out the bottom.
It's at number 5 in our bottom 10. It's pushing out the Mars attack saucer into the lofty heights of 11.
Squeezing it out. It's pinching it off at the end.
It's crimped out the Mars attack saucer. It's laid a cable, and off it goes into deep space where it fucking well belongs. So yes, the Life Force vampire ship with a total of 26 whole points, of which 15 of those were purely down to size.
Yeah, over half.
So there you go. Right then. Well, that's that. Thank you very much. Thank you. And so now, I guess
I'm not applauding him. I think you should think about what he just did.
Or maybe he was thinking about Matilda May and it's not an applause at all. Oh dear. No, it's all gone wrong. Oh. Anyway, so let's move on swiftly.
Again.
Swiftly to your ship, Pete. So let's have the USS Pasteur.
Yes, the Pasteur. Which have you received the file I've wung over?
I may have. Oh, yes, actually. Yes, I've got it.
Because I believe every time I hear the name of the ship, this is what I think of.
Okay, hold on. Oh, sorry, hold on. It's my bloody... Because it's all gone horribly wrong.
The wheels on the podcast go flying off.
Right, okay, so you're talking about this.
You want it pasteurized, cause pasteurized is best. She says, Ernie, I'll be happy if it comes up to me chest. That tickled old Ernie. And he drove the fastest milk cart in the West.
Lovely.
Pasteurized. USS Pasteurized. Oh, my life.
Hold on, I've got to do it again. There we go. You got me.
He said you want it pasteurized, cause pasteurized is best. She says, Ernie, I'll be happy if it comes up to me chest.
You know, I had that on a tape, all aboard, that was collected number of children's classics. Quite how that counts as a children's classic, I do not know.
Yeah,
It was.
It's about a Randy Milton.
Yeah, I was going to say who's
From a civilized age.
I was going to say from the sound of it, he's also talking about basically wazzing off on her tits.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, let's
Just don't overthink it.
Let's not sugar. Let's not over the sugar the pill. He's going pasteurised, and she's going to be happy if it comes up to me chest.
Tickles. Yes.
I mean, hold on.
He said you want it pasteurized, cause pasteurized is best. She says, Ernie, I'll be happy if it comes up to me chest.
Dirty bastard, and that's a kid.
Ruining your childhood.
Yeah, there you go. Well, there you go. Lovely. That's
a thing that happened.
And to be honest, I'd be scoring a milk float higher than I'm attempted to score this thing, but there we are.
Go on in. Tell
The
people what.
MCC 58925, or however the hell you're supposed to pronounce that number. Blimey. The Olympic class. From the alternative 24th century, immediately angering Amory. Captained by one Beverly Picard. That's how good this ship is.
Oh dear.
Yes. She was mercifully destroyed by two Vorchar cruisers when she crossed into Klingon space. Huzzah! Named after a World War II hospital ship, and that's because that's basically what this is. Well, obviously not a World War II one, but yeah, you get the idea.
I suspect it might also be the doctor who came up with the Hippocratic Oath.
There is Louis Pasteur, of course, who invented vaccination.
Oh, him then.
Yeah, that would be the dude.
And also,
Hippocratic Oath, I think, was invented
Hippocrates.
by Hippocrates. Yes,
Yes, I realised that as soon as I'd said it.
him of the Hippopotamus Oath, which is a line of which is on the dedication plaque. Should you be really sad and be looking for
What,
that
the
sort of thing.
Hippopotamus Oath?
Yes. I swear by Apollo the healer, by Asclepius, by health and all powers of healing, by the power of Grayskull. No, it doesn't actually say that.
He-Man!
The Olympic class gets name checked in Deep Space Nine, sadly. So it does cross over into the main universe. It's one of the ships massed against the Dominion, presumably some sort of thing to be destroyed, absorb all the firepower. But maybe it's a completely different design. Here's hoping. Mm-hmm. It's similar to the Daedalus class design, of which we see a model on Cisco's Ready Room, and was an early design for the original Enterprise, rejected by Matt Jeffries. So that says it all, really, doesn't it?
Yep.
The actual model we see in the All Good Things was built by Bill George from ILM in his spare time. Just threw it together, literally.
He just spray painted a basketball and stuck some nacelles on it.
Basically, I took a microphone and glued a couple of sticks on it. Yeah.
Yep.
He worked on Blade Runner, E.T., and
his CV after this one.
Yeah, quite. The only reason it's used in All Good Things is because they needed a model at short notice, and George had it lying around, basically.
Nice.
So rather than specially building something to use as Bev's command ship, they use this. The reasoning apparently being that as a medical ship, if you went with a spherical primary hull, they'd hold more beds. Really? Right.
Whatever you say.
As I say, design-wise, imagine a microphone with a feeble couple of warp nacelles attached behind the round end, and you're pretty much there. It's a pile of poop.
Yeah.
Rubbish. I mean, I like Trek ships usually, but this one is just
Do you
feeble.
really?
Yeah.
Did you know this, Lee?
No, I never know this. This
I-
is a shock to me.
Perhaps it's time if I came out about this. But
Oh
yeah.
my god!
Wow, everything I know is wrong. I've completely been changed.
Topsy
Up
turvy.
is down, left is right. Cats and dogs living together.
Mass hysteria.
Throw some numbers at this, shall we?
Yes.
Right.
I've got a number.
Yep.
0.
666.
Too smelly too. No. Size wise,
Mm.
320 meters. So that's a 3.
3.
Not off to an auspicious start.
That's a great start. That's exactly the start you
Aiming
need.
low, and
Yeah.
there
Keeping
we go.
low.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
We're on to speed now, and we generally give Trek ships sublight 5, don't we?
that's right. And FTL 3.
Yeah, I suppose, especially since apparently, according to the stats, this does warp 13.
What?
Yes, because we're in an alternative timeline.
No, don't worry, Lee. Don't worry. The warp scale was addressed by the gentleman of Spinal Tap.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh right.
Literally.
Yeah. Yeah. Why don't you
But-
just call it 10? Oh, it goes
But
up to
these
11.
ones go to 13.
Nice.
Yeah, basically. Now, maneuverability-wise, it's a Trek capital ship, but she doesn't pull off anything as cool or fancy as the D, so I'm just going to throw 1 at it, basically.
She just flies in a straight line, as I recall.
Pretty much, yeah. She doesn't
Right.
do any dodging. That's why she's destroyed straight away.
That's because she's a hospital ship.
Well, that too, but I mean, she's not like
It's unethical
nimble
to
little
dodge, isn't
thing.
it?
Well, it's not just unethical to dodge, but you wouldn't want to be in a ship that's shaking around like a bastard when you're in a wheelie bin or sort of wheelie chairs and all this
That's
sort of
it.
thing.
Yeah, doing a loop.
Doing doing a
having facial surgery. is
Well,
not good.
to be fair, I think I'd rather do a loop than die.
well, I don't know. I mean, if it's a hospital ship and you're in the middle of sort of like brain surgery, suddenly like
Or even if you're just having your proctology exam,
yeah,
Whoa!
yeah, 1 minute,
Hello.
yeah. Oh, hello. Yeah, 1 minute it's a proctology exam. 5 minutes later, she's checking your tonsils.
And we've brought it back to ourselves again, haven't we? Hey!
Hey, job's gone.
Da-da-da-da-da. Oi.
Oi. Welcome to Carry On Space Dock.
Yes!
There's the title.
Oh,
Ooh.
Matron.
Yeah.
yes, it's just somebody had
Captain's
said that
Cup.
to Beverly at some point during this episode. It would have been brilliant.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Anyway, yes, we went with 1, didn't we? Good.
Yes.
Super. Firepower. It's described as having limited firepower. Because it's, after all, a medical ship.
That is something of an understatement.
Yes. So, 1, I think.
Well, we don't know, so yes, legitimately 1.
Legitimately one.
Huzzah. See, I'm good at this low scoring stuff.
I was going to say this. This is
Yeah,
your
I'm paying
wheelhouse.
attention, Lee. This is how it's done.
Yeah, you're really bringing your full force to bear.
I'm playing to my strengths here.
Yeah.
Okay, and it gets better as well, because defense, active, 0. Huzzah!
0.
Yo,
Nice.
what?
Nil point. Unfortunately, we do give Trek shields 4 generally, and this apparently has them, although they don't last
Yes.
very long.
No. That's fine. So that's a 4. Got it.
And then special, I don't think there's any signs of armed support craft. There's no signs of it being able to. You imagine if it's saucer theft.
Oh my God.
Ball just drops.
Yeah.
Up.
Well, it would be false advertising since it has no saucer.
Yes. Well,
It would be ball set.
Ow! Ow! Ooh!
I've had. Missus, I've had me ball sep. Oh dear.
The balls are separated.
Yeah. No. No.
I'm watching like Wayne.
No. Vasectomy deck is one floor down. Do you think he does? You think it's like sort of like a proper hospital where you kind of like there's a sexual health clinic sort of down the back.
It's the herpes level. Floor 12, herpes. Oh shit, press the button again.
Yeah.
I didn't mean this floor, honest.
Yeah. Oral health floor 69.
Yes.
Yes.
So yes, that's a 0. Splendid.
That's cool. Splendid.
Right,
okay.
flight crew, according to Memory Beta,
Oh, we're already on.
Oh,
So
dear.
we can
Not a
already
good
divide
sign.
it by 5. Yeah, go on.
it's 750. I mean, it is a big ship, so I suppose that's vaguely but presumably most of those are nurses. I don't know.
750. So that's a 3. Oh no! It's not. Sorry, it's a 5. Sorry.
Yeah.
Was someone looking at the size again?
Maybe. Okay, competence.
They turn up, get shot to shit, and have to abandon the ship. Hey, well done.
Yeah, they do seem to hang around a long while, getting shot before they realise that maybe this is a bad idea.
And it is worth mentioning once again, it's a hospital ship
Flying into enemy territory.
Yeah, shouldn't they be flying the other way?
Yeah, well, apparently there's this crazy babbling Picard fellow aboard who's persuaded his ex to go flying her massive ship with its 750 crew into enemy space. So, yeah, I think one would be charitable.
Yeah. Also, it is worth mentioning at this point, just as on a complete tangent, that Patrick Stewart seems very convinced that at some point he's going to get so old that he just becomes mad and senile and dangerous to everyone else, because he's doing exactly what he does in this, he does in Logan.
Oh, crumbs, right. Okay.
Basically, goes bonkers, gets old, goes bonkers, and then gets everyone around him killed. Yeah.
Well,
nice.
you have seen the picture of him in the lobster costume sat in a bath.
Yes.
I'm just saying, life imitating art.
Yeah. Or maybe he knew something we don't.
Yeah.
Anyway, right, carry on. Exterior.
Realisation, yes. Unfortunately,
exterior.
You can't completely stamp on this because the technical quality of the model is high, as is its presentation on screen. Then again, the design aesthetic is pretty low. I mean, there's no proper reason for it to be that shape. It was just a model that was lying around they could use at the last minute. So maybe, do we go for mid-scale for that? Maybe 3?
Yeah. I'm looking at the model now, and the thing that gets me the most with it is it's for something that's supposed to be so goddamn big. I mean, the windows that are painted on it literally look like someone's got a rubber stamp of Windows and just stamped it all over every single conceivable surface that isn't a nacelle. And it looks fucking awful. It looks like literally like someone has got a jelly mould and stuck a ball on the end of it and some nacelles.
Yeah, it's not great.
No, I mean...
But again, we've got to separate, because the technical competence isn't bad.
It's not as good as it should be, but it's not bad.
I'm happy middle of avoiding it.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, it's again, it's a physical model. It's
a physical model, yeah, but I can make physical models out of my own poo. It doesn't mean that they're any good.
Again with the butt stuff.
Yeah,
I'm sticking to a theme. Follow that link there. Have a look at that thing.
I don't think I want to look at any links from you after less discussion.
Yeah. And now to the niche watch. No. No, but look at that.
Yeah, but where's those pictures of the actual model?
Yeah, I'm looking at it here. Olympic class from Memory Alpha. See, that looks better. I'm looking at the model the studio model itself, but the one that I sent you, that was actually from the show, so it's shot terribly.
Well, yeah, but again, that's like late 90s TNG.
Let's
think
bust it down to 2, I think, then, shall we?
Oh, I'm not going to fight for it, absolutely.
Yeah.
But...
I think 2's being generous, personally, but that...
Oh, come on.
It's not...
We've got a lot worse that we've given 2s to.
Yeah. I take your point, but I don't agree with it. I mean, we gave the Gunstar 2.
The Gunstar, admittedly, the CG was pretty... I mean, I'm just having a look at what we've given 2s to before.
Vorlon transports.
Yeah, again, CG. I mean, again, a lot of these are CG. Physical models that have given 2. What have we got?
The Prometheus from Star Trek.
Yeah. But that's CG again, though. X-Bomber got 2.
Rick Sanchez's spaceship.
The Draconia got 2.
The...
Fireball XL5 got 2.
The Martian Maggot.
Spaceball 1 got 2.
Yeah.
Again, I'm trying to keep it to the physical
All right.
model side
ID4
of things.
Mothership got 2.
Dalek Saucer got 2.
Yeah.
If anything, I think the Dalek Saucer was overrated.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. I'll give it 2 then. Fine. Interior.
It's all you see is the bridge.
Yes.
It's a redress of one used from the mercenary vessel earlier in season 7 in Gambit.
Right.
The main difference being they laid down some carpet.
Yeah, and painted it lighter colours.
I was going to say, didn't they make it bluish again?
Yeah.
Mm.
So 2.
Quite happy with a 2.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it exists and it's not covered with curtains, so...
Yeah. Science, unfortunately, now here we go. This is where you...
Well, yeah, generally Czech ships get 4, but there's no real explanations behind this piece of crap, let's face it.
But but there's nothing to dismiss it from Trek, so it's...
Well, you've got the whole Warp 13 bit.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. Well, then, okay, we'll knock
3
it for
at
that.
best, I think.
3. Okay. Well, the USS Pasteur scores a mighty 30 points.
We're not bothering with the cool scores anymore, then.
No,
Well, it's not. Well, it's not in the low. It's not in the low score. Let's put it that way. It's now. Yeah, it's according to this, it's sitting at number. Well, it should be sitting at number 10, but it's not. It came in after the Gunstar.
No,
so.
I was just saying we're not assigning it a cool score each.
Oh shit! No, sorry, completely forgot about that.
We're not, are we? Let's face
Okay,
it.
well then,
No, we're not. But it's
well, got it. What would you
There's
give it?
procedures to go through here.
Okay,
You know?
fine.
Got to go
Look,
through the motions, nonetheless.
listen to my voice. I have a cold. I have drugs. I have butthole fixation today.
I was just saying, you sound like you've turned into Michael Caine.
Yes, I'm having problems. I'm having problems, Master Wayne.
I just keep talking and don't blink, and I don't blink, and I just keep talking.
Yeah. What happens is you have the pledge, and then you have the promise, and then you have the prestige, and a budgie dies. Anyway, then
you have the snatch.
Then what you have is the clean-up operation as you're picking feathers out of your pockets. Right. So what are we going to do for cool factor?
You're only supposed to blow the bloody beak off. Can't believe they didn't do that line, actually.
No. Oh, God. Andy, cool
No,
score.
we can take it as read. We're all giving it 0, right?
Yeah.
Well, I was going to give it 1. No,
Oh, there you go.
I'm
You give it your 1 minute.
I'm joking. I'm going to give it 0. Fucking 0. So here we are, back where we started 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
With guess what? It's sitting just outside the top 10.
Ooh, tantalisingly close.
The bottom 10, sorry.
No, it's in the bottom 10, surely.
No, because it's...
Bottom of the 30s.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10.
Hold on. Hang about.
One eternity later.
So right at the bottom, we've got the Auriga.
Yep.
Then the Thunder Road.
Yep.
ID4 Rebel ship. Red One. Ship from Life Force. Nell. The Ark. Speedo Ghost. Dalek Spaceship. USS Pasteur.
Well, that presumes that the Pasteur... I thought it was first in, last out.
No. It's whatever... whatever we do more recently goes at the bottom.
Oh,
yeah,
that's fine.
that applies on the top 10. It would seem the bottom 10. It's
the other way
Oh,
around.
we've reversed it for the bottom 10, have we?
No, it's fine. Okay, it has. So okay, then fine. It has.
it's Schrodinger's starship. It both is and is not in the top 10, depending if you observe it or not.
It is both. It is both a good bad ship and a bad ship.
And we've still got one to go.
This can only get better or worse. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So yes, okay. Well, there you go. So the the Gunstar has been pushed out of the bottom 10 into
there you go. It's a brief stay.
Into its
drawn it into the bottom 10.
into the heady heights of the 11th worst ship we've ever reviewed, and the Pasteur sits at the bottom of top 10 of the bottom 10. Sorry, I don't.
Oh, this is doing my head.
Up is down, down is up. I don't understand.
Dogs are still living together.
And there's still mass
But
hysteria.
hysteria is not quite as large as it was before. We've grown accustomed to it at this point.
Yeah.
We're just back.
We kind of warmed up. Yeah, it's 3 confused old men talking about things that don't exist.
And buttholes.
And buttholes. Exactly. Who doesn't like talking? No. Anyway.
Buttholes.
Buttholes.
So it's come to this.
Yeah. It was
Butthole special.
Okay, well then, so the USS Pasteur.
He said you wanted pasteurized because...
Yeah, has got a score of 30. There you go. And just one last word from Ernie.
Pasteurized is best. She says, Ernie, I'll be happy if it comes up to me chest.
You dirty bastard.
You dirty old man.
Right, okay, so, let's get on with the deeply researched and heavily understood and well in documented ship, the GTVA Colossus.
So, as we know, I'm a fan of computer games and computer game starships generally.
Yep.
And one of my favourite starship computer games of all times is Free Space.
Yes.
Love Free Space. It's fucking awesome. I mean, might be heresy to some of you, but I prefer it over Wing Commander. Just it's what I came to.
Shots fired.
I've said it. Shots are fired. There you go. So, again, Free Space 1, fucking love it. Free Space 2, fantastic game. Better in terms of technical ability. Story leaves something to be desired about. But there's one particular... Well, actually, there's this ship, but this is not the worst ship in Free Space. I've left myself somewhere to go. But I thought, if we're just doing shit stuff, let's just get this under the bus straight away. So, the GTVA Colossus was the largest spacefaring warship ever constructed by the Terrans and the Sudans, or the Wubwubs.
What?
The Wubwubs.
What?
The Wubwub.
What?
Wap, wap.
Wubwub. I should do this all in the Sudan, and we just do subtitles.
No.
Which is great for an audio-based system.
Yes. Good luck with those subtitles.
Yeah. Anyway, it was the result of 20 years of joint development from dozens of contractors across the entire Galactic Terran-Basudan Alliance, which, quite frankly, the only contribution the Basudans seem to have to the Galactic Terran-Basudan Alliance is the V on what used to be the Galactic Terran Alliance. There we go. Logging in with a length of 6 kilometers, this behemoth was equipped with over 80 weapon turrets in addition to 240 combat spacecraft. With the offensive firepower that exceeds most GTVA battle groups, the Colossus was designed to combat the Shivans should they ever return to Allied territory. The target being the once infamous Lucifer-class Super Star Destroyers. Well, not Star Destroyers, Super Destroyers. There was no stars involved. That came later. It was deemed that the Colossus would not only have the firepower to destroy such a foe, but to survive multiple hits from Lucifer's primary weapon system, which, if you recall from the first game, took about 3 or 4 hits to destroy Galatei and the Bastion and so forth. Although the Colossus was a joint endeavour between both the Terrans and the Sudans, it's apparent the ship itself exhibits more Terran design traits than the Sudan. The Sudan ships tend to look more like giant space vacuum cleaners. It can be assumed, therefore, that the Sudan elements manifest themselves in less immediately overt ways. I got nothing there. Just a little bit of a history of the ship. It was developed in absolute secrecy. It was deployed against the Neo-Terran front. Think Space KKK. And it turned up and sat there in space doing nothing while enemy destroyer rammed it, causing little to no damage, apparently. It turned up several more times, just sitting there before it encountered the SD Saphanis, which was the new super Shivan spaceship, managed to destroy it, although it took heavy damage. And then it turned out that the Shivans had more than one of those and got blown up. That's it, basically. That's the epic tale of a GTVA Colossus. 20 years in development, destroyed in, about 5 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah. Should we go and throw numbers at this thing and see what happens?
Yeah, I tell you what. Try just before we go into that.
All right.
Try and describe for someone who hasn't seen this thing.
You want me to paint a word picture? Do you?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind. Just because it's a ship that I don't think many people are super familiar with.
It's true. Okay, now I want you to picture.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Imagine a child's toy, like Sticklebricks.
I might be able to help you out here, Andy.
Yeah?
Yeah. So
Okay.
you have an image of a transformer.
Oh, you sent me a picture of Galvatron.
Yeah.
No, that's Shockwave.
That's
that
It's a
Shockwave.
giant space gun.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, it is.
And
Well,
sounded...
basically, this does elicit certain space gun tendencies. Not only a space gun with both a rear and fore trigger guard and gun handle. This thing, it looks like a space gun. It's blocky and ugly, but not in the kind of good blocky way of something like the Galactica or the Omega. It's just ugly blocky. It's poorly balanced from a design aesthetic. The colours are appalling.
It's multi-story car park, basically.
This is like the what's it called? The
Coventry
National Theatre. This is the National
Coventry.
Theatre.
Yeah.
It's ugly as sin. Its colour scheme consists of greens, browns, and greys. I mean, this is the sort of shit that if you take this, go see a doctor. Something is wrong with your diet. That seems to be what our measuring scale is for ships today.
Pretty much.
It is ugly. It repeats the same texture about a bajillion times. I think it's only made of about 6 polygons in total. It honestly looks like something, someone's made it out of origami or, like I said, stickle bricks or Duplo.
Yeah.
It's blocky as sin. It just looks ugly as fuck. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I've got some perverse taste when it comes to spaceships, as we know from the cast. Love me some space bricks. But this is, like I said, this isn't the worst thing in Free Space 2. But it's pretty damn close. And the worst thing about this ship in Free Space is just how hyped up it is to become just such a wet fart. I'm trying to think of any ship which has had such hype and then just been so anticlimactic. And I'm struggling.
I don't know. The Battlestar Pegasus in the original series.
No, because even then it had, Lloyd Bridges in command, and I'm called out.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
I mean, this has generic Terran male voice as the captain. That's what you see. But
yeah,
again, a recurring thing with all the ships in Free Space is their speeds are not particularly high, but this thing sits there, not moving, while the big super bad guy spaceship appears, firing at it. And the voice is going, "Oh, we're taking damage over humanity. Oh, there's people running." And it just sits there. There's nothing wrong with the engines. No. The engines are still functioning. This might impact the crew competence, it must be said.
Yes, I'm fairly sure it will.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, it's the face even a mother couldn't love.
No. Okie dokie. Well, yeah, okay, fine.
It's even less impressive in terms of the design because, again, the Death Star took 20 years to build. And they built a fucking Death Star out of that, which not only looked fucking cool, had Grand Moff Tarkin in charge, who was fucking cool.
Yeah.
And, it fired more than once, as we now know. # spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But still, my point is, the Empire built the Death Star in the same time it took them to build this POS. And the worst thing is, they're really proud of this thing as well.
I don't quite understand why either. It's fucking ugly.
It's ugly. It's ugly as sin. It's like, okay, the thing is 6 kilometers long.
Yeah.
Like, they say that, yeah. And then they say it has more firepower than 5 Orion-class Star Destroyers combined at one point, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, the Orions are like 1.5 kilometers long. So it's actually less efficient.
Yep. Oh, God. Right, okay then, go on and let's throw some stats at this tedious turd of a ship. Right.
Oh, yeah, space gun. And it's not even like the Sulaku's a cool space... anyway.
No.
It's
nowhere near as
nothing.
cool as
It's nowhere near as cool. So, yeah, I think we've already mentioned the size. It's 6 kilometers. I don't actually have the exact size here somewhere. He says, looking...
You're going to fail at throwing this under the bus, aren't you?
You are,
6 kilometres.
It's 12.
Yeah, well, it's... How big was your fucking thing?
Yeah, it's bigger, but...
Shush.
Yeah, exactly.
It was shut up, that's why. So 6 kilometres,
12.
It is a 12.
Okay, sorry, it's 6,166 metres, so that's a low 6 kilometres, so that's 12. There you go.
Yep.
Right. Speed. I'm happy to report its sublight speed scores it a mighty 1, which is being fucking generous.
Yeah, I was going to say, it doesn't exactly do a hell of a lot, is it?
25 metres a second
Wow.
is its top speed.
Wow. Would it be easier if you just got out and pushed?
Literally would be easier to get out and push.
Right. Okay.
But it is encased in concrete by the looks of it, so it's not surprising.
It's yeah.
Nice.
As far as the FTL side, unfortunately, this uses effectively... it's kind of a cross between Babylon 5 and Mass Effect. It has point-to-point jump gates, but they can only go they have to travel through the gates and travel through the space in between, and you can only do it between systems. So it's not as quick as the Mass Effect system, which is effectively instantaneous, but it's not as versatile as the Babylon 5 system. So as much as I'd like to fudge it, I kind of have to say it's a 3.
Yeah, a point-to-point is always
It's
3,
a point-to-point, effectively,
okay. Maneuverability.
Oh, if I could give this thing 0, I'd give it 0.
Yep.
In fact, quite frankly, I think I should give it 0. And here's my explanation as to why. It never moves after it literally never turns. It never does anything. It will turn up in the system and sits there, and then it will accelerate out of the system. At no point in the entire game does it indicate it has any ability to turn whatsoever.
They forgot to put a steering wheel on it. Okay.
The only problem is we can't give it 0 because 0 would mean it can't do anything.
Well, 0 means it can't. Because we gave Babylon 4 and I think the Death Star 0.
Yeah, and I think it's up there with those, isn't it?
My point is,
or down there with those.
This shows no maneuverability whatsoever. Again, for all we know, the reason it just sits there and keeps taking a fucking pounding from the Shivans and allows an enemy destroyer to ram it, which is not exactly the Orions are about as quick as this thing is, so it's not like it's hurt. It's a bit like that scene from Austin Powers. You know, he's on the roller coming towards the guy. Get out of the way! And the guy's just standing there.
Yeah.
It's literally like that. For all we know, the reason it doesn't move is because it can't.
Very true. Okay, fine. 0 it is. Big fat 0. But now we move on to firepower.
Right. Now, the firepower in this, it says... Well, it has some impressive sounding firepower, okay? It says it has 8... heavy, it has 18 beam turrets, a number of flak guns, which are point defense things and stuff like that, and laser batteries and all that sort of stuff. It has very impressive sounding weapons. However, when we see the effectiveness of these weapons, now, the Shivan Lucifer was supposedly the big bad in this universe, which... That thing can't one-shot a capital ship. In fact, if I recall correctly, it takes 3 shots for that thing to shoot through an Orion-class destroyer with its big gun, which takes forever to recharge anyway. The big beams on the Colossus, if they hit the fighter, yeah, it will fuck the fighter. But as far as hitting capital ships, it's taking multiple hits before it does anything. They sound really impressive. Have this kind of like big build-up sound effect, and you see the little particles going towards the beam, and it sounds like it's kicking out a shit ton of energy, but it doesn't do a huge amount, gotta say. So I don't think it's really scoring too highly. I'm just having a look down the old scoring thing to see where I think this thing would go on there. I mean, it's not in the... It's not Slave 1. But I'll tell you what, I don't think it's Enterprise D either. Because it doesn't have things like photon or proton torpedoes or anything like that.
Yeah, but I mean, let's put it this way: if you were going to rate the Shivan vessel, what would you give it?
If I was to rate the Shivan, I think I'd... So the Sephanis. Well, no, the Sephanis is slightly different because you get a lot of those together. They can destroy a sun, but that's more through a special ability sort of attack, if you will, than using its main beam. I would put, let's say the Lucifer, I would probably put that at a 8 or a 9, I think. I would say the Lucifer is probably the equivalent of something like the White Star's beam.
Okay, so...
And this, although it says it's designed to be able to withstand the damage, because again, it's pretty fucking heavily armoured. I'm not going to debate that. Again, it can survive being rammed by another starship once. But I think as far as raw firepower goes, I'd say a 7. I'm pegging it with the Enterprise D more so just because of the amount rather than the quality.
Yes, fair enough. Okay.
A quantity has a quality all of its own.
Okay. So what about defense?
Okay, well, again, defense, it's got quite a few bits and pieces. It has flak turrets, kind of like Galactica's sort of thing. It also has anti-fighter beams, which do sting. But again, they don't really destroy the fighter. I mean, what they kind of do is they kind of knock it off course. and swat it out of the way as such. So, I mean, that's 2 for active defense there.
Yep.
I don't think it's got anything else in terms of active, to be fair.
Okay, fine. What about passive?
Now, passive, now, again, I've got to put my hands up here. This thing is built like a brick shit house. Again, it survives being rammed, albeit very slowly, but still being rammed by an Orion-class destroyer, which are... I did just see a picture of, for scale. Well, actually, you see in that little video, again, it's about 1 and a bit kilometers. Think something the size of the Galactica ramming it. And, they say, oh, we've got some minor damage, but other than that, we're fine. And again, it does take on the Sophanis, big, impressive, big bad alien and goes toe-to-toe with it and suffers heavy damage, but is still relatively intact on there. So I think we're probably talking either very heavy armor or possibly a 4, which we've given in the past when something's armored out to fucking wazoo.
Okay. So 4. Now, what about special?
Well, I mean, it has fighter complement.
So that's 1.
We've got to give 1 there.
Yep.
That's about it, to be perfectly honest.
Fair enough. Okie dokie. What about Marines? There's no Marine complement on there.
Not that we know of.
Okay.
There's nothing mentioned. There's nothing seen. And as we know, we don't know.
Nobody would be seen dead on this ship. So
unfortunately, quite a few people would be seen dead on this ship.
Yeah.
Oh dear, are you failing on crew now?
Yes.
Unfortunately, I am.
So go on in. How many people on this ship?
Yeah, 30,000.
30,000! You fail at failing, sir. You fail at failing. 30,000. You're just giving yourself a big fat 10.
Yeah.
They could be as...
But in my defence, the competence is shit.
Yeah, admittedly. But I mean, this is... Dude. We haven't done interior-exterior or science yet, and you're already on 41.
Yeah, but don't worry, because none of those are getting fuck all.
Yeah. But how can you put it mid-table for a ship you're throwing under the bus?
I obviously I need to spend more time under the tutelage of a good reverend there.
Yes. Yeah.
I have such things to show you.
such
sights to show you.
Yeah, the shiter bite. Cenoshite. There you go.
The Cenoshite.
Go on then, so exterior.
I'm going to ask 1. I'd ask for 0, but it exists in a physical plane, so I kind of can't get away from that.
Yeah, it does look like a half-chewed toffee wrapped around a Nebulon B model that's been hit with a hammer. So it's just not good. It's fucking awful.
It ain't pretty.
No. So there you go.
It's from Free Space 2, like I said, and even then, it's a case of the previous one. The previous game has better looking ships, in my opinion. Yes. Certainly better realised, anyway. So, but yes, 1 for that. Interior, guess what? Never seen a motherfucker. So mark it 0.
That's 0. Yep. And science.
I kind of have no frame of reference here. I mean,
well, it's big and it blows up.
It's big and it blows up. So it's consistent with MMOs. It took 20 years to build the thing. God only knows why. It flies.
It takes a long time for concrete to set.
It does. It actually moves slower than I think is scientifically possible for a ship with the amount of engines it has. Again, completely it completely ignores Newton and everything like that. I'm going to ask, just because I want to ask for 1, but I really can't in good conscience.
No.
Actually, fuck it, I can't.
Well, no. I mean, you can ask for 1, but the truth of the matter is, it goes slowly through space and it explodes. That's the only. It's got conservation of mass, energy, and explodes. So it's quite solid in terms of science.
I'm asking for 2.
Okay, 2 it is. Okay, and cool factor.
Well, from the British judge, nil point.
Nil point. They get nil point from me. And Pete?
Oh, I'm going to surprise you all now because you know how much I love these computer game spaceships.
I swear to Christ, if you do this, I'm going to stab you in the eye.
Yeah. If you give it the full 3, I tell you what, I'm going to reach down the line with my mind and crush you like a grape.
No, clearly it is 0. A big concrete 0.
I was going to say, how do you feel about giving 10 to the Pasteur, Andy?
Why stop at 10?
Okay, well, there you go. So, the GTVA Colossus, a terrible ship, yet somehow manages to score 44.
Like, I would just like to qualify, this isn't the worst ship in Free Space 2.
No,
so
but it's...
I've left myself room to go down from there.
Yeah, but the worst one is about as big, isn't it?
No, it's much smaller.
Okay, fair enough.
It's the Samtec.
Oh, good lord. No, okay, fair enough.
Space vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, there you go. So the GTVA Colossus, slightly above Slave 1.
What?
It's 1 point above Slave 1, the Serenity, the Saratoga, and the Axiom.
Yeah,
and the X-Bomber.
Well, that's understandable.
Well, fair enough. It's not all bad, Ben.
Over the fucking Nostromo, Babylon 4, and the Milano, though, that will not
solely
stand.
down. It's solely down
to its fucking
the crew size and its physical size.
You fail at failing, my friend.
Oh, says the man with a size of 15 for his vampire ship.
Yeah,
and the rest of the scores were?
Yes, but that's because it had a crew of 3.
Yeah, but for what it's worth, I'm in the top. I'm in the top.
You
5.
win at failing.
I win at failing. I'm master of failing.
Yes, master of failamonies.
Yes, master of fail. Right, okay, paste that down there. So yes, that's that. The this week's ships all thrown under the bus. So 44 points for the GTVA Colossus, 26 was it? Oh, sorry, 28 points for the Pasteur. Oh, 30 points for the Pasteur. Sorry, my apologies. And yes, 26 points for the Life Force Vampire ship, which means I'm going first next time. Yay! Or am I going last, considering I succeeded in throwing it under the bus?
Yeah, it's just so complicated.
Oh, just stick to the old format. It's better. So
let's face it, we'll have forgotten by then anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say we would have changed our minds by then anyway. So let's move on to what we're going to be doing next week.
So next time I shall be taking the Zygon spaceship from the classic Doctor Who story, Terror of the Zygons. Get your kilt ready.
Ooh, Okai the new missus. It be an organic
that level of subtlety. Yes.
It be an organic dinosaur thing.
It has a character called Caber in it. That's how subtle it is.
Nice. Tom Baker walking around with a sporran. I remember. Okay, and Andy.
I'm going to do the Shadow of Intent, which is a Covenant battle carrier thingy from Halo 3.
Hello.
Yes. Hello.
You say hello. I say goodbye.
Yeah. I say hello. Hello. And I couldn't decide what to have. We have a large list, and they're all not terribly impressive. So I kind of.
He says. There's good stuff on there.
There is good stuff on there. Nice.
But foolishly, he said, "Pick a ship and I'll defend it."
Yes. So given to me by Andy and with giggling glee by Pete.
Well, it started off when, the Zygons are kind of dinosaurish and the Sangheli, they kind of have reptilian features. And I thought, you know what you need? You need space dinosaurs.
So I got given 2 of my favourite things in one. Space dinosaurs and Star Trek Voyager.
Da, da, da.
And you know what the best thing is?
Bom, bom, bom.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
You can watch it with ease.
Distant
Origin. Not with
Origin.
ease, clearly, but
yeah. So
free pain.
Oh God. So apparently I've been given the Voth City ship from the Star Trek Voyager episode Distant Origin.
Wah, wah, wah.
Which, as far as I can tell, is just a humongous neon-lit penis with a Voyager-sized gap in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like the straight-to-DVD knockoff of Vija from the motion picture, at least on the inside.
Certainly does. So yeah, I have no idea what I'm getting myself into. So thanks for that.
At least the stats will be easy to find, though. Look on the bright side.
You say that.
You say that.
Memory Alpha is your friend.
No. Memory Alpha has precisely one paragraph.
Oh, yes, I've just looked. Oh, dear. Normally there's a wee box on the side of all the stats you need. Not with this one.
And if I have to go into Voth City Ship or Memory Beta, I'm in trouble.
Yes, as soon as you hit Voyager, nobody cares when it comes to Memory Alpha.
Oh, my God. I have just found something on Memory Beta. Oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
Right.
Oh, yeah. You remember how much fun you had with the Andromeda? Oh, yes.
Right. Anyway, so there you go. Yes, brilliant. Thank you very much for that. So yes, join us. So join us next time for Intergalactic Space Lizards. I think is basically it, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. So Intergalactic Space Lizards episode with the Zygon spaceship. What's it called? The Smoke and Mirrors, or whatever you called it.
Shadow of Intent.
Oh, I preferred Smoke and Mirrors.
You can call it that if you want.
Yeah, the Shadow of Intent and the Voth shitty ship.
No, yeah, it's a shitty ship. Yes, you can do it as Sean.
Yeah.
Voth, the hell is that?
Yes,
I've just seen
Shitty
the fucking Voth themselves.
Yeah.
Oh God, look at that.
Yes.
That's not right.
I bet the only reason the actors agreed to that was because, oh God, that's because they'd be utterly unrecognisable. Oh, that's bloody awful. Okay, so look forward to that next time when we tackle another disastrously designed ship from the Star Trek universe.
They actually featured it on that collectible spaceship thing, and the model just looks so bad.
Looks like someone's painted a turd green by the looks of it. But anyways, yeah, so we're back to ring pieces. So, join us next time. Do join us on the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/space.jury. And, of course, do harangue, and generally pester Pete on Twitter at space.jury. And before we go, gentlemen, do you want to tout your wares? Over to you, Andy.
You can find me on the Band Brothers podcast with Elton McManus, and also the Grand Prix podcast, because Formula One is back. Yay!
Yep.
Just like that.
Yep.
Which are both on at road2media.com.
Cool. And what about you, Pete?
You can find me over at Geek Planet Online with the old Ballcast. We're right at the end now of season 4 of Deep Space Nine, and by the time this comes up, our Easter special will have hit the interwebs.
Ooh.
Say no more.
Okay, fair enough. And yeah, you can find me on Black Dog Podcast, which is at www.blackdogpodcast.com, and you can also find us over on iTunes and very soon Google Play, Stitcher, and several other pod-catching services. So, yes, come and join in the fun over there. I have no idea what we'd be doing by this point, but it's not going to be good. Right, so that's that. So, yeah, thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Pete. And yeah, join us next time for Zygon spaceships, Shadows of Mordor, and the Voth City shit. Brilliant. Until then, take care, everyone. Tatty bye.
Cheery bye bye.
I should definitely go.
I think you went.
I think I've been.
You could hear the offbeats pound as they raced across the ground, and the clatter of the wheels as they spun round and round. And he galloped into Market Street, his badge upon his chest. His name was Ernie, and he drove the fastest milk cart in the West. Now Ernie loved a widow, a lady known as Sue. She lived all alone in Lily Lane at number 22. They said she was too good for him, she was haughty, proud and chic. But Ernie got his cocoa there 3 times every week. They called him Ernie. And he drove the fastest milk cart in the West. She said she'd like to bathe in milk. He said, all right, sweetheart. And when he'd finished work one night, he loaded up the cart. He said, you want it pasteurized, 'cause pasteurized is best. She says, Ernie, I'll be happy if it comes up to me chest. 'Cause that tickled old Ernie. And he drove the fastest milk cart in the West. Now Ernie had a rival, an evil-looking man, called Two-Ton-Ted from Teddington, and he drove the baker's van. He tempted her with his treacle tarts and his tasty oatmeal bread, and when she seen the size of his hot meat pies, it very near turned her head. She nearly swooned at his macaroon, and he said, now if you treat me right, you'll have hot rolls every morning and crumpets every night. He knew once she sampled his layer cake, he'd have his wicked way, and all Ernie had to offer was a pint of milk a day. Poor Ernie! And he drove the fastest milk cart in the West. One lunchtime, Ted saw Ernie's awesome cart outside her door. He drove him mad to find it was still there at 4:30. And as he leapt down from his van, off blood through his veins did course, and he went across to Ernie's cart, and he didn't half kick his horse, whose name was Trigger. And he pulled the fastest milk cart in the West. Now Ernie rushed out into the street, his gold top in his hand. He said, if you want to marry Susie, you fight for her like a man. Oh, why don't we play cards for her, he sneeringly replied. And just to make it interesting, we'll have a shilling on the side. Now Ernie dragged him from his van, and beneath the blazing sun, they stood there face to face, and Ted went for his bun. But Ernie was too quick, things didn't go the way Ted planned, and a strawberry-flavoured yoghurt sent it spinning from his hand. Then Susie ran between them and tried to keep them apart. And Ernie pushed her aside, and a rock cake caught him under his heart. And he looked up in pained surprise, and the concrete hardened crust of a stale pork pie caught him in the eye, and Ernie bit the dust. Poor Ernie. Ernie! And he drove the fastest milk cart in the West. Ernie was only 52. He didn't want to die. And now he's gone to make deliveries in that milk round in the sky, where the customers are angels and ferocious dogs are banned, and a milkman's life is full of fun in that fairy dairy land. But a woman's needs are manifold, and Sue, she married Ted. But strange things happened on their wedding night as they lay in their bed. Was that the trees a-rustling, or the hinges of the gate? Or Ernie's ghostly gold tops a-rattling in their crate? They won't forget Ernie. Ernie! And he drove the fastest milk cart in the West.
Space Doc Jury is a production of Three Angry Beards.